A very warm welcome to you all, wherever you may be, to today's edition of Unlocked SK, the original interactive talk show, broadcasting to you live from our micro-streaming studio here on the beautiful island of Corfu in sunny Greece. And as you know, we broadcast on Facebook Live, but as well as that, we also are now on the studio website, of course, which is www.StudioKerkyra.com, or the video platform that is Vimeo.com, or else good old YouTube, and of course now Twitter and Twitter's Periscope. And as always, to help me bring you this digital broadcast across the internet today, I'm very lucky and pleased to say we have the help and assistance of our wonderful producer, Claire Haas, who will be answering all your Facebook comments and taking those calls from Skype. And of course, as you know by now, no broadcast would be complete without the one and only Thomas Haas. Hello, Thomas. How are you today?
Hello, Adrian. Hello, everybody out there. Thanks for tuning in again. Thanks for watching. It's Friday, and what a fantastic day it is. We got great temperatures here, but we retreated to our SK HQ today for the broadcast. So you're gonna see what we see when we sit in our van and work. But let me say hello, everybody. It's great to see you back here. Margaret Johnson is saying hi, everybody, from a cold, wet Derry, Kent.
Ooh.
But loving the music, guys.
Oh,
so
good one. We thought it was rather jolly for a Friday. Had that sort of summery feel and touch of Marley there somewhere, I think, in the background.
A little bit, doesn't it? Yeah, and here. Cheers, Thomas, Adrian and Claire, drinking fish and eating strawberries from a cold grey Romney Marsh. That's from Sarah Roseman. Hi, Sarah. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. It's great. And there's more and more coming, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Is there anything you want to know about this beautiful island of Corfu? Don't hesitate. Send us your comments now, and we do our utmost best to
get
that all in. But today we're at the HQ, and that's the view from our van.
Yes, isn't it lovely? Sort of the inside bit of the island, as it were. We, like to vary it up a bit, not always a beach scene, and that's how it shows you how beautiful and green and verdant this wonderful island of Corfu truly is.
Yeah, it is. And I had another camera view, and I'm trying to get that one back. It's windy today, but it's beautiful. So
it is.
It's great. And when I show you that, and that's the other side of our van.
Yes,
but guys, thank you so much for writing in. Great to see you all. Steve Powers is saying, hi guys, warm but cloudy day here in Manchester. Hope you're all well. Yeah, we are
Steve.
great. We're fantastic. Julie Cam is writing in, hi guys, I should have been flying out to Corfu tomorrow, and I'm quite depressed about it, but no, you will cheer me up. Yes, we're trying our best. Well, that's sad.
Yes,
See, that's
so
more and more coming now. No?
How disappointing for you, Julie. But we'll do our best to bring you the Corfu vibe, and let's all hope that you can come here very soon indeed. The island misses you, Julie.
Definitely misses you all, guys, and this is so nice for you to tune in. So we keep you up to date with what's going on here on the beautiful island of Corfu, and a little bit of in the United Kingdom, of course, and worldwide, but more important here on Corfu. So you guys can see what's going on regarding the tourism. Is it jumping up? Is it coming? Is it getting busy or not? I mean, what do you think, Aid?
Well, I don't. It's a hard one, because in some ways it is. Some ways, as we keep telling you, that they're doing up their tavernas and restaurants and maybe hotels. But I have to say it is patchy, because lots of places still remain closed. I went on a quick location scout earlier on today to a lovely location that we were planning on broadcasting to you, but sadly it's all closed up. So let's hope that in the next couple of weeks. However, one bit of news, at least they're delivering ice creams to the Gardiki Castle Garden Cafe.
You got all excited about
Yes, I did, because that's always a good sign. When he gets the ice creams in, you know he's going to open up in very due course.
Yeah, and we're all hoping that, because it's really a little bit, I understand when people getting depressed, you're looking forward to your holiday all year long, and then the time arrives and you think, okay, we went all through a lot in the last 3 months, no, maybe this is happening, cheers you a little bit up, and then you get the cancellation and it's gone. So of course that's depressing times at the moment, but hey, you guys cheer us up and we try to cheer you up. So here Paul Pollock is saying good evening from a rainy Dover.
Hello Paul.
Richard Zebedee, hi Thomas and Adrian and Claire, how are you? I mean, we in paradise, mate. We are
yes,
fine.
We're very lucky. You may be or may not be pleased to know that we're basking it today in 24 degrees C. Oh, perhaps I shouldn't have told you that.
Oh, it's the weather. You want to see the weather, of course. And here I put something together for you so you can see what's going on at the moment. It's 23 degrees.
Take my word for it, it was a minute ago.
It was around half an hour ago. You were totally right, man.
Thank you.
It dropped down to 23 degrees. The wind is coming from the west with 15 miles an hour. So they're going to be over at Halikunas and starting with a little bit of kite surfing.
Yeah,
so humidity is 62%, the visibility is great, 9.7 kilometers, and the UV index, it's 3, so that's quite okay.
Yes,
but sunset is going to be at 21:07.
Wow, yes, that's a good one.
And they are famous here on the island.
The sunsets are incomparable almost, aren't they?
Yeah, let me carry on, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Andrew Wood is saying hello from Torquay, very wet Devon.
Hi, Andrew.
So, it's come. Lee Edmund, hello from rainy Bradford.
Ah, Bradford.
And Lavinia is writing, hi, Lavinia, thanks for joining and watching. Blatant all my veg now, but the dog decided to sit on one of my little aubergines.
Ooh, dear, naughty dog. Hello, Vinny. Hope you're well and happy and having one of those famous G&Ts that I know you like. To sup, occasionally.
Yeah, and Adam James is saying hello from Rock Village, the home of happy horses. Yes, that's great.
Hello,
I love that, man.
Adam, welcome aboard. Great to hear from you again. And, of course, your fabulous partner, Rachel Brooks. You do a fabulous job there with all those happy horses. I think you've got 28 or 29 of them, haven't you, by now? You're looking after other people's, that is. Rock in Worcestershire. Lovely place, Thomas. Beautiful.
Yeah, I believe you, man. Definitely. I believe you there. Hey, and it's coming better and it's going on. And here, Christopher Tabana is saying, hi, guys. He said, I'm going to Milos tonight for dinner in Comeno.
Okay, well, I hope you have a nice
that's good. Take some pictures, Matt, and let us know how it was. So maybe, we follow there. Leon Jagger is saying, hi, all. Hi, Leon. Nice to see you. Melita is writing in from London. Hi, Melita. Don't forget to watch Greek Odyssey tonight. It looks great. Channel 5, 9 p.m. Oh, yes, I'm far ahead of you with that one. So here it's going. Just to remind you all, tonight it's starting on Channel 5 at 9 o'clock, a Greek Odyssey with Bethany Hughes. And they filmed an episode here on beautiful Corfu, and that's a opportunity to just look in and refill a little bit of the feeling for Corfu.
That's right. Good one.
So, see, I'm prepared, man.
You are. Very good. Hello, Melita. Thanks for joining us.
Guys, but don't miss that one. Then Margaret Beck is writing in and saying, oh, breaking news, the R number has been reportedly passed in parts of southern England. Okay, I have no idea about it. That's breaking news just coming now. Allegedly from Margaret Black. So this must have been just announced.
Yeah, do you mean that it's increased?
Increased, yeah. It's
gone past 1.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not so good news, is it?
Hi, but Marilyn Thompson is saying, hi guys, been gardening all day now for a drink and relax listening and watching the StudioKerkyra daily update. Oh, bless you. Thank you so much. That's great.
That is lovely.
Yeah, and we got some news today. And it's great. We can start off with local one, man.
Yes,
and
go
the
for it,
local one is, there you see everything is opening up, and I looked a little bit around, but the municipal art gallery here on Corfu is reopening. Now, following the opening of the archaeological sites on the 18th of May, the cultural venue will be open to the public again from this coming Monday on, the 15th of June.
Well, that's good, isn't it?
And their opening time, one is cool, it will be open on Monday, but their opening times are from Tuesday to Sunday, from 10 in the morning till 4 in the evening.
Okay.
So, but a lot of sites are gonna open now on Monday, and this is the thing, 15th of June, but one of the dates.
Big day, isn't it? Red letter day for the summer season.
But we've both been in there, and it's beautiful.
Yes, it's a good gallery, absolutely well worth a good afternoon stroll around. It's quite air conditioned as well, if I remember. So if it's a hot, sticky day, it's the perfect place to have a wander.
Oh, no, definitely it is. And you've been we saw something with Edward Lear from the steps next to it, the metal steps that go down to the sea. I took a couple of pictures there. We have to talk about it. Okay. I think we're doing our own program because Vinny suggested something for us too. So, and I think we have to take this opportunity because it's great.
Funny you should mention Edward Lear, because I do have a little quote from him later on in the program, which is quite pertinent.
So let's carry on. Okay, no, that's you got some. Okay, and here we go on. The next news is that Lev Kimi switched on their lights in the channel on the river, and they started on the riverbank inside, putting fantastic lights on here. I sadly couldn't get hold of a picture, so if anybody listening here on Corfu has a picture of these beautiful lights down at Lev Kimi River, please send us this in. We would love to share this with everybody, but they've done a fantastic job, and Lev Kimi is, it seems like, waking up more and more.
I saw some fabulous aerial shots of Lev Kimi. It wasn't on Twitter, Thomas, it was on Instagram, I've just remembered. And it really looks absolutely splendid from the air. It looks as if they've given it a bit of a makeover. It was very clean and tidy, but the canal looks absolutely resplendent. It's a bit windy here, so if you hear me scream, you'll know that I've lost my papers.
But it's beautiful, and that's what we love on this island. Come on, you get out in the nature, what we're experiencing here every day. And when you see we back at HQ by our van, and that's when we look out our van, that's the images we see. How lucky are we to working in an environment like that? Come on,
Thomas, absolutely, yeah.
But there is much more coming in, guys. Thank you so much for commenting and writing in. So if you have any questions regarding this holiday island, don't hesitate. Write into us here now live with a comment, or send us an email to inbox@StudioKerkyra.com, and we do our utmost best to answer all the questions we get thrown at. But if you think we got something wrong, don't hesitate either. Let us know straight away. That's collaboration, what we call that. Carlo Risso is writing in and said, "Hi guys, best wishes from rainy Chichester." Nice Chichester.
Yeah.
Glad to see you. 4G connection is up and running. A bit concerned about increased coronavirus cases in Greece,
I'm
though.
glad. Thank you for mentioning that, Carlos. You're quite right. Actually, the last 24 hours, sadly, they've increased by 20. The 24 hours previous, they'd increased, I told you yesterday, by 19. The figure, as quoted by the official sources today, comes in at 3,088 infections, and still on 183 deaths with 1,464 recovery. But it seems to me for the last 2 or 3 days have increased by 20, and then over the weekend there was that large jump of over 50. But yes, it is creeping up. So I have to say are so many other countries in the world. Just at the moment, India is having a bad one, rapidly going up the tables, soon to be into second place, which is no competition. It's terrible regarding the number of infected cases. Mumbai is particularly badly affected, as is Delhi. Brazil, of course, is also on the rise. UK is 293 to 11,000 infections with 41,423 deaths, sadly. The US is also increasing. They're very worried about it in the US. Currently, there's a total of 2,089,825 cases with 116,035 deaths. The state of Arizona is very concerned. They've come out of lockdown a little bit prematurely, many people thought, and Arizona has seen a sharp spike in the last 24 hours, and that is happening quite a large parts across America right now. Yeah. So there is a general degree of concern in the air, that's for sure.
Yeah, and we can feel that here now. When you speak yesterday, I spoke when we just left down there. You could see, or not spoke, we could see it.
Yes, there's this.
You see the taverna we've been. We had the first time. Let's admit it. We had the first time food in a taverna this year
here on
Corfu. We've been a bit sick, but with the location we've been yesterday, Kafleon is really fantastic. You couldn't take that away from us. So we did there, but it was quite. Remember at the beginning when we turned up, when we started setting up, and that we set it up just a little bit away from the taverna, no? And they were very cautious with us.
They were. Away, we don't want it, and neither does anyone else around the world.
But
I think
you can see how cautious they are.
They are, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Because in the end of the when we finished it with our food, and this was fantastic, were great there. The prawns were greatly done. So no, and this the fishing harbour is there. You get that 0 food miles, so you can't beat that, really, can you?
Really, no.
But he started talking to us afterwards more, and then he found out, oh, you guys, you're not really tourists. You're not here just to have a tour with your a van and then go. You guys actually live here, and from the moment he knew that.
Yes, it was a bit different.
It changed. His whole attitude changed, and then you could feel, okay, he felt more relaxed. So they are wary of that virus hitting the island, and it is sitting definitely in the back of their head.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and here, thanks guys for writing in. Thanks for letting us know some things. And here I think John is saying, I should be in Corfu now. Miss it so much. Sit in the house in Newcastle watching the rain. Oh.
Not quite the same, John, is it? But
no, it's definitely not the same. I can feel that. Jane Petit is saying, I introduced my husband to your program. Now he is listening with me now. Say hi to Lee. Hello, Lee.
Hello,
Thanks
Lee.
for joining us.
Thank you very much. Yes,
That's
welcome
great.
to the program, and hello, Jane. Thank you very much indeed for all your contributions. We do welcome them.
Yeah, and Tom Gettings is saying, hello everybody from wet Appledore.
Hi Tom, good to hear from you. Great. Appledore is just so beautiful. Even in the rain, it has a kind of beauty, you know.
Yeah, and Gary Schurman is from the Netherlands is saying we had 26 degrees Celsius. Oh, they got 3 degrees more than we had.
That's
Listen.
not fair. Look at that. Hey, well done. Enjoy the sun. Absolutely.
Yeah, and Margaret Black is saying, it's 41,481 now, Adrian.
Oh, right.
A rise of 202 in the last 24 hours.
Yes, that's the UK. Yes,
that's the UK now. Yeah,
thank you, Margaret. Yes, it's.
But with the cases back to Greece, it's gone up. So yesterday or today,
2 days about 20 of increase, and then there was that blip over the weekend when on the Monday it suddenly spiked by about over 50. I think it was. Because it was settled down at 2,990 for like a whole week or more. It didn't move at all, and then all of a sudden, I think Friday, it started to rise up. They're saying that they are people returning to Greece from other lands. That's what they're saying.
And this could be a problem. So and I hope it's not gonna happen that way, but it looks like it is, because when you look over to the MSC cruises, they extended the suspension of their cruises now until the at least 31st of July. So we got a date here. So MSC cruises extended until at least the 31st of July.
But to put that into context, that makes them starting off earlier than the others. We read out a few names the other day, and it was P&O and Cunard who weren't going to be starting until November, would you believe? I think Saga was due in September, and also Fred Olsen had completely grounded its fleet. There was no indication as to when they're going to start cruising again. I'm not sure about Costa Cruises. That's also part of the Carnival group. I'm not sure what's the state of play with them is. But it's certainly cruise holidays are a no-no at the moment.
Yeah, and we said that anyway. We said that for the last months now. We say, they're talking about having the cruises starting already in June. And we both looked at each other and said, come on, are you really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's too early to do. It's, but now 31st of July, you can see that. I want to know how they gonna cope with the financial pressure they feeling now.
Yes, well, I think the whole of the tourist, hospitality and aviation industries are absolutely being battered. There's never been anything like it in their histories, quite frankly. I mean, did you catch the figures coming out of the UK, Thomas, today from the Office of National Statistics? They report that the UK economy contracted an absolute record amount, which is absolutely staggering decline of 20.4% just in the month of April that's just gone. It's affected every sector, but particularly motor manufacturing and house builders have been very hard hit. Of course, public houses, pubs, health sector and education also amongst the largest to be affected in a negative way. In April, the UK's economy was 25% smaller than the February that went before it, and for the 3 months, February to April, the whole economy declined by 10.4% compared to the previous 3 months. To give you some sort of context, that contraction is 3 times larger than the decline everybody saw in the whole of the period during the financial crisis of 2008 to 2009, where the worst figure there was 6.9%. Everybody got very concerned about that. But a staggering 20.4% for April. It's absolutely horrific, isn't it? There's no other word for it. They do, one glimmer of hope maybe, they reckon, this is the ONS, Office for National Statistics, reckon that April's figures that we've just read out will be the bottom point. There's no guarantee of that, of course, but it looks a little bit likely because in May, certain businesses started to open up and certain lockdown restrictions were eased. So maybe April was the bottom of the cycle. Unemployment rate is rising currently at 8%.
Oh, that's
for the UK, that is. It's not good, no.
Let me say hello quickly to John Johnson. He says, hello, Radio Corfu from a very wet Newport, Wales. Hi, Wales. That's
Newport
great.
is a great place. I love your bridges. You've got some fabulous bridges in Newport and a good Indian curry house as well. And a theatre. Yeah, great place, Newport, Thomas.
Newport is beautiful.
Yes, it is, absolutely, yeah.
Definitely. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in, John. I'm getting much more in. Thanks for taking part in this all to do now with holiday. And that's great because here Stuart Maroon is saying they are advising the British tourists not to pick up their bags from the carousel, to try and get them to deliver them to the apartments. So that's a new one. I haven't heard from that. But I heard the warning that you should keep social distancing also by the baggage collection and then one by one do that, but that's a new one.
I've heard other things to say in the airline industry advising people not to take any hold luggage. The theory there is that if it's your hand luggage, only you are handling it. Well, I suppose it makes logic sense. But that would be good if they can get the hold luggage, the big bags as it were, delivered. That would be handy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be brilliant and much safer, of course.
Absolutely.
There is no question about it. I get here over from, let me see, Sarah Roseman. Is that the village of Columbus in the background? Sarah, yes, it is. Now in the picture you can see that. That's the village of Columbus.
Sarah.
That's fantastic. Great. See
eagle
that,
eyes you've got there. Well done. That's brilliant. Absolutely. By the way, Thomas, did you know we were talking about sharks yesterday? Somebody wrote in about sharks. Well, Melita tells us that she saw a basking shark off the coast of Emonas. I don't know when this was, but it's certainly since the 1950s sighting. So perhaps there are sharks in these waters, but we haven't seen any.
Of course there are. But
I was thinking of a song, actually. Shark patrols these waters. I don't know whether you know it's a crazy song, but it always reminds me. Yes, but, they're a feared beast. Many people are absolutely terrified of them, and they do cause havoc. We read a story, didn't we, in Australia of sharks getting caught in netting there, and someone went and bravely rescued a shark. So, one man's meat is another man's poison, as they say.
Yeah, and I got another update here quickly what I want to get out, and this is Steve Bowers is sending us in. This is story on Keep Talking Greece just now. The Greece announced on Friday, also today, that with a few exceptions, it will open all airports, ports and land borders on July the 1st, 2020. This was announced during a live press conference today held by the tourist minister and health minister here in Greece.
Okay, so thank you very much for telling us that.
That's from the 1st of July 2020, with a few exceptions, they will open all airports, ports and land borders. So that's a good news when they can keep it on there. It's another 15 days away, so it's only 2 weeks, and then this gonna happen. So the time now gonna be so interesting, where we feeling it now when we travel around, try to find locations to set up and bring you fantastic views. And to be honest, it's not as easy as it looks at the moment, because there's so much still closed or they renovate, and we don't want to be down at the beach when they just clean the beaches up and get everything ready. We want to show you, when they done their hard craft, because they're all great here. And that brings me on Sunday morning is starting the beach clean up in Halikunas.
That's right, with the lovely Xenia.
With the lovely Xenia reminded us with that one, and that's great, and that's so these things. But we don't necessarily want to stream when we have, the JCBs going past and getting things ready, because that's what they're doing after winter here. You have no idea how much damage the sea is doing.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because the road that goes straddles the beach and the lake, Halikunas, has kind of semi-disappeared. I think they need a jolly good bulldozer to sort that out. It's the winter months cause havoc, as you probably know. On the point of litter, Thomas, one of our viewers, Stephen Raymond, he made a very good point yesterday. In his opinion, he says that people who drop litter on Corfu beaches should get high fines on the spot. I absolutely agree with you, Stephen. We're concerned about discarded fishing nets. There's been a big thing about that. And it's tragic when you see a dead turtle washed up, strangulated by people casting off fishing nets over the side. There's no need for that. And really, there's no need to drop your litter on a beach either, is there? Just take a spare plastic bag, dare I say, or some receptacle with you and just put it in there. Most beaches do have bins at the entrance or exits. I have to say, though, I'm not sure what the state of play is with Halicunas, because in the few months ago they decided to remove all the pins. So I hope they come back.
But this situation is also great. You're bringing on to the rubbish situation here. We don't have that problem. That's the thing, not because the tourism didn't start yet. No, because they got that greatly under control. So the environment here is bouncing back a little bit. That with the fishing lines, that's definitely a fantastic point. Man, I go fishing, as you know.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get caught with your line, no? But instead of just cutting it off and leaving it in there, I make the effort to go actually in there, unhook it and take it out, because it's not just for the wildlife there, it's for the people who bathe, who come and use these beaches. It's not nice you walk in, you swim out, you dive down and you get hooked up. In that case, for an old thing, it could be horrible, especially, there's rust, everything on there. It can be dangerous for you, but it's painful. And then, it's not a good impression on your holiday, is it?
Absolutely not, no. Terrible.
But
so please take your litter home with you guys. I'm sure you do. I'm sure all our followers and listeners are very well-behaved citizens. Do the right thing.
Yeah, and if you want to join the guys from Let's Do It Corfu here on Sunday, come to Halicunas and join in by the beach cleanup. These cleanups are happening from all the communities around the island, and that's so great to see when they all come together. And when you go on to animeracy.com, the English version, you can read all about it on there, and you can find out also the dates when these events are happening. And I'm getting more and more questions in. Guys, that's a good one. Christopher Demmeyer is saying, do you guys have any ideas when Corfu would be open for tourists from the UK? Oh,
in a word, no.
$1 million question.
It is indeed. Everybody wants to know, well, not everybody, but loads of people want to know the answer to that one. And we simply can't give you any ideas of dates at the moment. I dare say it's still under review by the Greek government. I read a couple of days ago that they would lift the restriction as soon as they felt it prudent to do so. I think maybe they're hanging back to see what happens on the 15th when 29 countries are officially allowed to fly here. Maybe it's sometime in July, it could be, we'll see. They did say that it's all down on the R number, and as you heard earlier on in this programme from Margaret Black, I think it was, who said that the R number had increased in the south of the country, which
south
is
of England,
so concerning, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm not surprised. But maybe it's got really eased too early, the whole situation. Maybe we should have hung in there for another week or two, just to make sure and get. Absolutely. So it's all. But at the beginning they responded too slow, and now they're releasing it too quickly or easing
under
it too
immense
quickly.
pressure, of course, from the economic side.
Of course, we can't forget that one, because
it's a difficult situation, isn't it?
I mean, the emails, the messages, and phone calls they must receive on a daily basis, and one discussion into another. I mean, it's definitely not an easy position to be in.
No, and don't forget it's that distancing rule. There's tremendous pressure on them to reduce the 2 metre rule down to 1 metre, and that's directed from the UK hospitality industry and the pubs. Many people are saying that with the 2 metre rule, pubs will no longer be economically sustainable, and it would cause devastation and closures across the board. I'm not convinced by that. I don't know. And as we said yesterday, there are ways and means of getting around that. You could do, say, 1.5 metres. Every I can't remember now what I said, but it was an extraordinary increase. Every increase of one, I think it's 50% more of the chance.
It's crazy,
safer,
isn't it? It's unsafe,
yeah.
But hey, now we're getting more messages in. Thanks, guys, for tuning in and watching. If you have any questions, you want to know anything regarding this beautiful holiday island of Corfu, the situation we're in, we try our utmost best to answer that. I mean, that now back to the UK, when the UK can come and travel. We heard yesterday that the flights for people from the UK on the 1st of July got already cancelled, and some are thinking of cancelling it, so it pushes it out, I think, to the 15th of July at the moment. But they're all adamant that UK tourism gonna be here on the island latest end of July. When I spoke with people, they think August, September, October gonna be the time for the Brits to come on holiday.
Yes, we have said that before, haven't we? A few weeks ago, we had that funny feeling that might be the case. So we'll have to just wait and see. But as we keep saying, Monday, the 15th of June, is definitely a red letter day when it comes to international flights in Greece.
So we have to watch that, and we're gonna monitor that closely. Hello from Lauren Smith. She said, "I just realized the time. Hope everybody is
Lorraine.
safe." Yes, we safe. We great. That's from Jolly Portsmouth. And Simon Barry is saying, "Good afternoon, all. Hope you all is well on the island of Corfu. Having a mitters here in Manchester. Yamas to everyone."
Yes. Oh, good one. Yes, Simon. Yes, yamas to you too. Great stuff. It's great that they're being able to drink Greek and Corfu beer in England, isn't it? Or the UK, I should say. That's absolutely marvellous. Oh, that reminds me, Thomas, did you know that Jerry O'D, our good friend there in Donegal, in the beautiful island of Ayr, the Emerald Isle, as they say, he told us that in all his local off licences, I think he was saying this yesterday, that they've completely sold out of Corona beer, would you believe?
Oh, yeah, I read that message. It must be a trend now.
Yeah, it must be, mustn't it?
So it's something to keep. It's a memento of the situation. You don't open it, leave it stay for 100 years.
Oh, like that brandy we were telling on about.
Your great-grandkids have something valuable to sell, probably. But
maybe.
You never know. I mean, Boldew is commenting and said, they advertising that you check all luggage in to the hold. So people are checking that in themselves now, and I heard the same thing too.
Yes, okay.
So it's something they're doing. They even put the stickers on what go around the handlebar for scanning themselves. Somebody sent me something. I have to look into that. I missed that one, but thank you for reminding me. I have to really look into that.
Yes, I read something from Swissport, who are the ground handling people at many UK airports, and they were very concerned about COVID-19.
Yeah, no, I'm not surprised because what they have to go through.
Exactly.
So let the passengers do as much as possible themselves, makes the whole environment safer, and just be there to assist. That's probably what they're aiming for.
Absolutely.
So, but that is much. Steve McCabe is saying, "Good afternoon from Liverpool, guys."
Hi, Liverpool. Hi, Steve.
Liverpool,
Good to
that's great. Nice to hear
absolutely.
from you guys. But there's much more coming in. Here, Dorothy is writing in, "Hello, I'm listening from Nottinghamshire. Missing Corfu so much."
Hello, Dorothy.
My family and I were moving over to live in Berulades October this year. We will hold on tight for now. We will wait and listen for when it's safe for everybody. Take care, my friends.
Absolutely. So, thank you very much for that, and we hope that you can make it in October. That'd be great to have you on this fabulous island.
Seriously, yes, that would be great, and let us know when you guys arrive here safe and sound. And yeah, I would love to meet you and chat with you, of course. Now about your move. It's always a great thing. It's exciting, isn't it?
It is, but it's a big thing, you know, lots of logistics and worries. Oh, if I remember to pack the cat or whatever. I found it quite stressful, to be honest, Thomas, when I did move out here, and I think it was actually 2 or 3 moves I did, but then I carry around a lot of garbage, shall we say. Picking up on a point that we mentioned, I think it was yesterday, it's now official that British Airways, Ryanair and EasyJet have clubbed together, and they've filed a formal legal challenge to the UK government over this 14-day quarantine period, and they've applied for an official judicial review at the High Court. So we'll keep an eye on that one and see what happens.
Yeah, no, definitely. Let's see here. I got here an interesting question, and that's Lee Lamont is saying, have they finished building the new part of the airport yet? Yes, and they did.
Yes,
we saw in video.
They have.
They
indeed,
released.
Yes.
Yeah, they finished it. They extended it nice, and it looks great. We haven't been there yet.
No, not yet, but we're working on it, and it does. I think they've expanded the capacity by almost 100%. I think there was 5 gantries, gates, I think. Can't remember, but it looks splendid.
Looks splendid.
The other thing they've done, Thomas, don't forget, over the winter months, perhaps before COVID-19 struck, they did a lot of road improvements. And when you do eventually come back to your favourite, wonderful, epic island, that is Corfu, you will see a few changes, and all of them are for the better. Do you remember that big road up towards the airport if you're coming from down from the north of the island? On the way, I can't remember now, I think of any shops that you go past, but it's a big road. Well, they've completely changed it, haven't they, with a central reservation.
Electronet node, what we call it. Yeah, I know we call it, but it's not the right name, you know that.
No, it isn't. I do know that one, yes. But it's a safer road, both for pedestrians and, I think, for motorists as well. You'll see what I mean when you come here.
Yeah, they made a lot of improvements here.
Yes.
When the airport is finished, that's gonna be great. More space, more parking, and the whole handling with the luggage and with departure and arrivals gonna be much easier, as really pushed it into the 21st century. Then with the rubbish, we got this nicely under control here. Municipal worked very hard, got that sorted, the contracts awarded. That runs perfectly now. All the recycle centers were jumped up.
Yeah, frankly, on the subject of recycling and rubbish, it's the best I've ever known on this island. And I've only been coming here since 2006. And of course, when you come here, you immediately fall in love with the place. It's a never-ending love affair.
Yeah, no, exactly, and that's what it is all. But the improvements what happened was fantastic, and they carry on doing so. The resurfacing of the road markings are being taken care of, and they work on that all as we speak. So they're getting proper ready for the tourism, but not just for the tourism. Also, they upgrading their infrastructure here. And as you remember, we had a couple of problems with the internet the week before. Was really bad.
Yes,
so we had to take a break for a week because we couldn't stream, we couldn't do anything really. But that gonna resolve not itself, because they done a great job, and we cannot just complain and say no.
So far so
but
good.
So far so good.
Yeah.
They kept to the word, they upgraded their stuff, and they're looking in to fix many more things, and that's also positive. So this island is waking up, and I think through this lockdown, like the mountain trail here on Corfu got updated. They took the lockdown period to clean that and put the new markings on and lay that proper out, restore that, so when the visitors come, they can go for a stroll, they can go for a walk anytime, safe and sound. And see, and this is so good things what came out from that lockdown.
Yes, it's always good to see a silver lining in these wretched clouds. Did you catch a German study that was just released, I think, a few hours ago, when they reckon that wearing face masks can slow the spread of COVID-19 down by a staggering 40%, according to a report in the Times newspaper today.
Wow.
That's in Germany. Yeah.
They're wearing the face masks now.
Yes.
So, and there were a lot of confusion going on about that. Should you wear them? Should you not wear them? Do they help? Do they not help? But, 40% is a lot.
If that's true, it's a huge amount and definitely worth doing. So whatever you do, don't forget to bring your face mask with you. Of course, they are available here, and as they are anywhere else around the world. There were supply problems a few months ago, but not anymore. They're readily available. But maybe you might be advised to bring some spare gloves with you and stuff like that. Pack sensibly, I think, is the answer.
But I saw them now, the masks and the gloves here in the supermarkets.
Oh, good.
And they're restocking them regularly. So that's quite good. But you got your answer. We call it Electronet Road. You know how we say. But Winnie is correcting us. Thank you for that one. And she's saying, is the Solari Road, you mean? No?
Solari Road.
Solari. So we have to get this in our heads. We're making up our own names as we go along, as we drive around this island.
We do. Rather like we give names to certain people, probably because there's so many
Nothing
people called
bad,
Spiro,
by the way.
And
yes.
No, we might say Spiro Bar or Spiro Land
or Spiro Grill
Taverna
House.
Or Spiro Grill House. Exactly. You get the gist. You understand, yeah.
And that's so thing, but that's the beauty, and that's what makes this island so special, and we enjoy every minute we're here. And of course we wanna try to show you the best pictures available, but we're gonna get more and more going for next week on. We got so many things arranged. I got so many emails and messages in for locations, even Benitzes now. That's great. I'm looking forward to that one. But we're gonna start contacting, we're gonna start laying our trip through the Road of Paradise out, and we let you know in advance soon the places we gonna be.
Yes, absolutely. One sad story that caught my eye, Thomas, it happened a week ago. It was from the Netherlands, and we have a lot of wonderful viewers and followers and friends in the Netherlands. Tragic story about 5 experienced surfers who lost their lives in the home of surfing in the Netherlands. Forgive me for mispronouncing this name, Scheveningen, I don't know, on the North Sea Dutch coast. It's tragic because they got caught out by a changing northwest wind, came from nowhere, and it whipped up all this algae that had been reactivated by this sunlight, and it caused an absolute devastating tragedy for these 5 experienced wind surfers, aged 22 to 38. I'm making the point because a lot of people come to this wonderful island of Corfu for surfing and swimming and diving. You just never know. The change of currents can catch you out. A change of wind can catch you out. So basically always be prepared for the unexpected. The irony is, of course, they were debating where to surf on this particular fateful day, and they chose this one spot. There was some argument that they could have gone a little bit further down. Had they gone a little bit further down, they would probably be still here now. But a great lot of sadness and mourning going on there in Holland at the moment. So when you do go surfing, kite surfing and all the rest of it, do take extra care. The currents and the winds can catch you out.
Yes, they can, and that happened last year several times. So, but you know, guys, it's when you're here on holiday, you know, you let your head down. You don't think your hair down. You don't think a danger is around every corner. But when you're into the sea here, you have to be a little bit cautious. Enjoy your holiday. That's what it's here for. But when it comes to the sea, be a little bit cautious there. But I'm going to hear Tom Giddings is saying, hoping to be there end of August. Fingers crossed.
Brilliant,
That
Tom.
would be great.
That would indeed be great to meet you.
And here is Jerry O.D. saying, hi guys, just
Jerry.
came home. Oh, I hope all is well. All shops open in Ireland from last Monday and shops open in Northern Ireland from today.
Yes, that's
I hope
right.
it's not too early. See, is another one. We
Good
just
point, Jerry.
we
just said about that about 5 minutes ago. Yes. A lot of people here are in two minds about opening up. They really are. But
yeah, it's. I mean, let's hope for the best. You know,
Totally,
that's what we
yes.
can do. This is the only thing we can do. Let's see what it is. We saw the times were changing, or the dates were changing of the things in the last 6 weeks so many times. They have to put a date down. We can work towards. Simple as that. And that's what's happening in the moment. And one day this date just gonna stay, and it will happen, and we open for holiday. So it's
Hooray.
the thing. So Dorothy is asking, she said, Dorothy again, what time of day do you broadcast? Is it every day? It's every day.
Monday to
unlocked
Friday.
Monday to Friday,
Yeah.
6 p.m. Greek time, 4 p.m. UK time, and 5 p.m. rest of Europe.
Yes, and why not follow us on Facebook? Because if you do that, that would be very nice for all of us. But you will get heads up whenever there's an SK broadcast, because we do broadcast other things. We hope to do all sorts of things, actually, but I'm afraid COVID-19 has slightly got in the way, as it were.
Yeah, but we're gonna get into gear, and we got a lot of things planned, and it's gonna be so
Great.
exciting. I'm really excited. We're gonna have a fantastic road trip through paradise, and you guys gonna join us live everywhere, and we're gonna bring you the best this island has to offer. And we try to get into locations you can't access normally for live streams, but we love that challenge, and that's what we're here for, isn't it?
Yes, of course. Absolutely. Yeah.
Cool. Go on. And for you now, while we spoke, Griezmann, one international news more. You got.
Well, yes, bits and pieces. England, I'm going back to the United Kingdom. You may...
Something, yes.
well, several things. One thing that springs into my mind on the subject of Black Lives Matter, that's also a very contentious subject at the moment. They've decided to cancel the big rally and protest that was due to happen on Saturday at Hyde Park. Reason given, their safety, because apparently there were lots of other groups going to be demonstrating against the Black Lives Matter movement. So there you go, probably made the right decision.
Yeah.
We are here at StudioKerkyra a little bit concerned about suddenly the cancellations of fantastic comedy programmes, for instance. We keep hearing certain sketches have now been taken off the air, and the ongoing saga about statues and all the rest of it. I was hearing from a professor at, I think it was Oxford University, who was really quite concerned about all this, and she's saying you can't just obliterate British history, and maybe these statues aren't always in the best places, but they shouldn't necessarily be desecrated or removed like that. Maybe they should be in a proper designated museum. Perhaps on the subject of slavery there is a call for a museum showing both sides of the argument. I mean, I personally find the whole idea of slavery totally abhorrent, but we should put our minds back, if you can, to how it was the mindset in the 17 and 1600s, for instance. A completely different set of rules applied. These people, slave traders, they did good in one ways, but of course they did terrible other damage. Now, people often say that, slavery finished in 1865. Well, actually, no, it was before that in the United Kingdom. William Wilberforce was the man who did all that, really, back in 1807 with the Slave Trade Act. and the Slavery Abolition Act was 1833. So the UK was way ahead of the United States when Abraham Lincoln signed some order of the Emancipation Proclamation Act, would you believe? And he signed that in 1863, but slavery was finally abolished in 1865 when the US Union Army arrived in Texas to declare the Civil War was over, thus ending slavery there.
So yeah, now it's a hot topic at the moment.
It is.
It's going forward, backward with people. Some understand it, some don't understand it. I mean, no, it is right. I mean, in the end of the day, in the 21st century, and I think after that, we being in this lockdown with this COVID, have this situation, and we're talking about a new normal. Maybe that's an opportunity to change that, to integrate it and said, you know what, now let's really make a new start there. And you know, and
yes.
having seeing status with people who remind you on slavery and that, I get that all. That's definitely the only worry I have is, does this start to expand now into extreme censorship? Because when you see Fawlty Towers, the famous German episode.
Don't mention the war.
So, you know what, exactly. I mean, great, what a fantastic episode it is. And I'm Austrian, you know. Yeah. It's a great thing. He played that fantastically. That's comedy. That's English comedy at its finest.
Yes.
And now all of a sudden, you know, you fall back in to the censorship thing, what we emerged out after the 70s, where, you know, freedom of speech became. So, and you know what, now to find a base, I think it's more about equality now.
Yes.
That's the whole thing, what it is. It's not about the slave trade anymore.
No.
That we all know. But it's the equality. It is the governments have to realize it doesn't matter what skin color you have. The opportunity should be here for everybody.
Oh,
and I think that's the issue.
Yes, I'm sure most
That's
of
the
us,
issue.
not everyone, but most of us, level-headed, reasonable people could agree on that. Did you know, Thomas, that on the 19th of June in America, I don't know about other places around the world, but certainly in the United States, they're going to call it, it's called Juneteenth Day. It's going to be a holiday for many firms. Jack Dorsey is closing down Twitter for that one day only so they can celebrate. It's also known as Freedom Day and Jubilee Day. So they are going to commemorate that end of the slave trade. 19th of June this year, called Juneteenth. Let's see if that happens in other countries around the world.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Richard Zebedee is saying British history matters. And now, of course it matters. There's not
Absolutely,
a question about
Richard,
it. It matters. But, you know, we don't have to stuff it, especially in points like that. But it's hard to talk about that without upsetting anybody.
It's very difficult.
That's a difficulty here. You know what, everybody has his opinion, and we should respect his opinion. We are free people, and we have free speech. And you know, in the end of the day, it's your common sense what should prevail there, because that's what makes it right. But no, it's the whole thing is not confusing at all.
No,
I don't think it's confusing. It's just which direction do you progress with that now? Exactly, that's the whole thing.
Yes,
how do you go forward with that? But yes, I agree.
Quality.
British history is definitely important. I love it and I indulge it. But you know, it's.
I think it comes to something when you're tearing down statues. I mean, there's a statue of Baden-Powell, who was the founder of the Scouts movement back in the early 1900s. He had the first scout camp on Brownsea Island, which is just off the Dorset coast. Richard Zebedee would know that quite well. I think his statue is somewhere there in Poole, I think, in Dorset, and they're so worried about it being desecrated that they've got 2 scouts on permanent 24 hours a day guard until they can properly move it. The delay in moving it at the moment, they're worried about the safety of this statue, but unfortunately it's a much more difficult task to remove. It's something to do with the plinth. So I think next week they're bringing in mechanical machinery to do that. But it just goes to show, doesn't it, that no statue seems to be safe at the moment. And the Home Secretary, who we mention often, Priti Patel, or whatever else you'd like to call the lady, she's coming down hard. She's instructed the judiciary to give 24-hour fast-track sessions to court for anyone caught with criminal damage, vandalism, or assaulting the police through the current Black Lives Matter protests.
Yeah.
They are very worried about a summer destructive campaign. So, I can see that point as well, because the last thing anyone really wants is anarchy on the streets. The best way, surely, to protest is these silent protests. They're so powerful. There was that moving one in Colorado a couple of weeks ago when people just simply laid down on the road and laid still for 9 minutes, which was the time that it took for poor old George Floyd to lose his life at the hands of 3 Minneapolis police men who are now on charge for murder, and quite right too. I mean, it's a subject that's been going around for ages now, police brutality. There's always good cops and bad cops, and I'm pretty confident when I say this that the bad cops are way outnumbered by the good cops.
But the good cops, definitely.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's it. But I think it is going, this is gonna kick now something off where what's gonna develop in so many different directions. When Black Lives Matter, there is no question about it. Every life matters.
Absolutely.
And we have to get to a stage where we say, okay, skin color doesn't matter anymore. Everybody is equal.
I'll tell you one
men get paid the same in the jobs and get respect the same. That's the whole thing where we are falling behind, and we in the 21st century, there should not be a difference between black,
we're
white,
all the same. We're all human on this
man,
wonderful
woman.
planet. Absolutely
Exactly.
not. And we all have something unique and wonderful to give. Talking about television programs, comedies, and all the rest of it that are going off our screens now, there was a long-running comedy series back in the 1970s. I think it was on ITV. It had a good cast, but I, for one, never watched it. I personally found it totally offensive, and that was called Love Thy Neighbour. Did you ever catch any of that?
No.
You didn't miss anything. That was really, really bad. And you can't really compare that, in my opinion, and I'm only speaking from my personal opinion, to a scene from wonderful Fawlty Towers, for instance. I mean, it's just not
you can't compare that at all.
No, you
it's
can't.
Here, Jerry O'D is writing in and saying, over the top to cancel comedy shows from back in the day. It's getting a little bit too much.
Agreed,
Are
Jerry.
people getting oversensitive?
I think they could do.
Yes,
and
I
what's
think
happened to
you're
the
on
great
there,
British sense of humour, for heaven's sake, or indeed
loving
Irish sense
it.
of humour. I mean, you've got a fabulous sense of humour there, but all over that part of the world, great sense of humour. But mind you, I'm minded to know that in England, when I was growing up, we had the idea that Germans couldn't laugh; they didn't have a sense of humour, and there was this crazy story that there was actually a university of humour to try and teach Germans humour. Well, I think that's not so at all, because in the last few years I've got to know a few lovely Germans, and guten Abend to all our German-speaking friends. I think they've got a fabulous sense of humour. They've certainly made me laugh, so that's a myth that I don't think ever was, quite frankly.
Yeah, that could be. I just lost one of
Oh dear.
my cameras, and that has to do with the wind a little bit. I put this up so high on the thing so we can have a fantastic view. But I'm getting it back. Don't worry. But yes, it's here is coming in, and let me see. I just lost it. I can't believe that. But I got from Melita here. She said they will be banning Rising Damp next.
Oh, that was a good one. Frances de la Tour, she was fantastic. And, of course, the incomparable Leonard Rossiter. I mean, absolutely great performers. Yes, indeed, they might. Yes, I remember now there was a character in there. Yes, they might indeed, Melita. Well, we'd love to hear your views, actually.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Keep them
Steve
coming
is saying his view here. Think most of Spike Milligan's sketches will be banned at this rate, Adrian.
Yes, I think you could be right on that one. Yes. He was a character, wasn't he? A totally madcap comedian, very highly thought of. Believed to be very intelligent man, actually, so it was said. Mind you, the Pythons were very intelligent. Most of them went to Oxford and Cambridge and had first-class degrees. Some of them were doctors. I'm a bit worried about meaning of life and the banning of Mr. Creosote for being rude to obese people. I hope they don't do that.
I mean, yeah, exactly. So somewhere, we have a creative freedom,
and
somewhere there have to be a boundary, of course. Yeah. But you don't have to get this heavy. But Margaret Johnston makes me laugh. She's saying, showing our age now, Adrian.
We are, Margaret. We absolutely are. I'm afraid I'm an old fogey. Yes, I'm old now. But I do remember the golden age of television back in the 70s and 80s, actually. Yeah.
You sounded like the robot from the...
Who?
What? Hitchhiker's Guide of the Galaxy.
Douglas
Marvin.
Oh, did I? Yeah, I don't remember much of that, but I did catch the odd episode, yes. I never quite understood 42. Why was it 42? Do you know? the meaning of the universe.
You don't know then?
No. Refresh my memory.
No, I'm not allowed to say that.
You're not allowed to say. Oh, tell me after the show then. That's what they came up with, yes.
Yeah, the only number you need is 42.
Yes,
that's
I don't
all.
quite get that. But, please, pray, enlighten me. Any of our eagle-eyed viewers or whatever, intelligent viewers, more intelligent than us here, please let us know. We'd love to hear that. Yes.
Yeah, and here Margaret Johnson also reminds, with her comment now, that fits over because they upset Boris Johnson, didn't they? With this whole situation too. She said the statue of Winston Churchill in London has been totally encased today.
Oh, has it really? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for letting us know.
That's possibly because the poor old cleaner, who incidentally apparently is called Winston, he had to go out every single day and clean off the graffiti. So perhaps that's a wise precaution. Of course, Winston Churchill, slightly divisive figure, but back in the day, particularly during the Second World War era, he wasn't divisive at all. He was a very unifying person. And, it's not fair for me to comment because I simply wasn't alive in those days. But my family, all of them who were, would tell me that, quite frankly, without him at the helm, the United Kingdom would probably not have survived. He certainly managed to galvanise. For one thing he did was he galvanised the war effort at the very beginning because UK armaments had been run down so woefully. Yeah. And it was, of course, the Spitfire. But I don't want to dwell on the war because, to me, I'm a pacifist. I can't quite get my head round war. My father fought in it and he was shipwrecked a couple of times. Devastating for him and everyone else. Wars are just a total failure of humankind, in my opinion. Goodness sakes, we're adults, we're intelligent beings, amazing creatures on this beautiful planet. Why on earth can't we sit down and sort it all out over a cup of tea? Well, in my case, coffee, but you get the gist.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. That's what it is, and I hope there's a lot of changes coming in here. But here,
peace and love, that's what we want.
Peace and love, except peace, love and harmony.
Yes, that's our motto. We want. And love is the only thing that can take away the hate. Believe you me, my life's experience is a testament to that. I don't need to be told by a religious person or read in some textbook. I'm actually a living example of why love can eradicate hate. And if you don't believe me, come and talk to us and we can have a full-on debate about this subject. I'll be very happy to rise to the occasion.
But carry on with the talk is here. Pierre Towers is writing in, and that's relevant to what we're just talking. He said Eddie Murphy is delicious and raw stand-up videos. And this jumped videos. Look, he's taking the mickey out of all nationalities, especially us whiteys, and is what extremely funny. But I would never want it removed.
No, absolutely.
Exactly, me neither, because he's first he's a fantastic comedian and actor, and I love his movies.
Yes, do you remember the other one?
And he takes the mickey out. Yeah, it's dark humour, so what?
Yeah, and the other one that was extraordinarily outrageous, slightly before Eddie Murphy was on the scene, and that was Richard Pryor. You probably remember him. He was absolutely outrageous, and when he was on form, he was on fire. He was fantastic, but there were, if you like, anti-white jokes in there. Honky-tonks, I think we're known in the black world.
Yeah.
I don't mind being called a honky-tonk. As I say to everybody, I'm not actually white. I'm dirty white.
Dirty white, listen. But, it's exactly that. I think this whole thing started something off now, and hopefully we can make the best out of it, can reshape our future so we can all live in harmony together. That would be the perfect scenario.
Totally, absolutely. That's what we should definitely strive towards. Picking up on a story that we mentioned the other day, Thomas, zoos in the UK, non-essential shops are all due to open on Monday, this magic day of the 15th of June, isn't it? As well as safari parks and zoos and auction houses. On the subject of zoos, Whipsnade, which is part of the Zoological Society of London, that also operate London Zoo, beautiful in Regent's Park, they had their website going because you have to pre-book your tickets. You can't just turn up anymore. And they started to issue tickets on their website on Thursday, and within a matter of hours, before it crashed, they had to close it down. Ooh. But the good news is that's given them great encouragement that there's so many people out in the United Kingdom who are wanting to book their tickets at Whipsnade Zoo, which is in Bedfordshire. And they said they were delighted to have so much support, and they say that it was helping us to secure the Zoological Society of London's future. So, because a few weeks ago they were very concerned. I think London Zoo read out a report of people not coming. where's the money coming from to feed the animals? What were they going to do? So hopefully, when they open up on Monday the 15th, you'll be able to get your tickets. The zoo have assured everybody that tickets will be available, just they have to get their website sorted out.
Yeah. So, but no, that's great, man. Oh, and here, the sunset is coming over these mountains in the next couple of hours, gonna look great and fantastic. And we covered quite a lot of ground today again, man. No?
We have.
But there was one more thing you wanted to say.
Edward
Lear,
I
exactly.
wanted to read out something that Edward Lear wrote. He wrote this in 1856. In what is called his Corfu years, and the reason I mention it today is because it was written in June 1856, a mere 164 years ago, and he wrote this: "In the meantime, I delight in the heat, and would it were never less. It is so nice never to cough or use one's handkerchief, but to be able, from waking, to look out at the clear, pale, cloudless heaven, never altered, at all, day or night." That is rather
That's
nicely
great,
put.
man.
But the point is, it's that line, isn't it? It's so nice never to cough or use one's handkerchief. How prophetic. All those years later, here we are worrying about exactly that. A cough, a spit, and a handkerchief. Well, okay, a.k.a. the mask. But he wrote that 164 years ago. He was here for quite a few years. He lived here for 4 years, but he actually visited this island a tremendous amount of times between the 1840s and when he eventually left in 1864. But as Thomas said earlier on, we will do a special regarding Edward Lear.
Oh, yeah, we for sure will. But you know what I'm gonna say now again, because it's exactly the time again, and I'm so sad to have this here. But guys, here it is, and you can see we in our van here, we live to you out there. It's fantastic, but it's again 60 minutes is gone, the hour is gone. That's
Where
all
does
we
it
have
go?
I know, it's crazy. It's just going, it's so quick.
Well,
and
they
you
say
enjoy
time
every
flies
minute
when you're having fun, and obviously that's the case. We're having fun because you know what? It's just fantastic to be able to sit here in the beautiful Corfu, of course, in resplendent sunshine, to be able to talk and then hear back from all you fabulous people all around the world.
It's great.
Just extraordinarily exciting and wonderful. And don't forget, this is your digital platform, as we keep saying. Chance for you to exchange ideas, ask questions, and hopefully get some answers. And indeed, you have been ever so good in answering our questions too. So we love it, don't we, Thomas?
Oh yeah, we're enjoying every minute, and thank you for taking part and writing us the messages in. If I forgot any messages here, please don't be angry. I will put it in tomorrow's show. It's so much going on, and I apologize if I did. If you have anything to say, comment after the show via messenger or send us an email to inbox@StudioKerkyra.com. But I wanna, as two things, I wanna close that show. There's two comments in. One is in from Cherry OD saying peace and love and rock and roll. Agree with you, Adrian.
Yes, well done, Jerry. Good one. Yeah, absolutely.
And the other one here I love, and I want to end with that one. That's from our friend Winnie. And she said, be a hippie. Hand out flowers and not hate.
Oh,
I was a hippie, and I'm proud to still be one.
Well, do you know
And
what, Vinny?
that's great.
So am I, and I'm still one as well. That's fantastic, Vinny. Well, do you know, you're some lady, you are. Core blimey, you are. You're fantastic, Vinny. I truly mean that.
Great. No, and that's what I wanted to read last. So if I missed any messages, guys, I apologize. I will put this in on Monday show. But that's it. I wish you all a fantastic weekend. Relax, enjoy, chill, and take every opportunity to talk with friends, with family. We don't know what's gonna happen, but we thinking positive here, and we send you a lot of love and big hugs here from the beautiful holiday island of Corfu straight to you. But until Monday, I wish you a great weekend. Stay safe, and Kali Nichter to you.
And as always, thank you very much for sharing your time with us. And you know, rest assured that we love you all. Enjoy the rest of the day, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And a very good afternoon to you all.